Good morning, everybody. As you may have seen, we released a new order that will be on Saturday, May 9th, taking us into the next stage and really the first stage of recovery. So I want to walk you through all the changes. And when I say walk you through, I mean walk you through because I'm on my new stand-up treadmill desk overlooking Ajax, and you're going to tell me if this is really distracting or not. So first thing I want to say, businesses, business owners, I hear you. I know how stressful this is because I run a business here too. I understand the existential threat that you face, and I understand that if this closure moves on and if we do not allow for lodging, for example, 50% revenues ain't going to cut it. People are going to be gone and jobs are going to be lost. So I just want you to know that more than anything, I am focused on a strong reopening that also prioritizes public health. And understand that I have been out front on this because there are models that work. And if we are not bold in our thinking, if we are not willing to lean into bold ideas, I don't think we're going to get there. And I've been taking a lot of heat for being out there. So just know someone's out there fighting for you. To that end, this is not the time for editing. This is not the time for less. This is a moment for innovation, for creativity, and for collaboration. We should not accept no as an answer. We should be saying, yes, we are going to reopen our economy, and yes, we are going to focus on public health. We can do both. There will be trade-offs, but we're going to work together to get there, and we're going to insist on it. So I'll start there. Secondly, in this new order, we are moving from stay at home, a mandate, to safer at home. In a safer at home environment, we get to move from group sizes of 5 to 10, which if you're social like me, makes me feel really good because I've been missing the hell out of people. Now when you're in those groups, we're still social distancing, etc., physical distancing, but we are allowed. Things that are now going to be opening with general restrictions include non-essential retail and offices, construction, and elective and preventative medical care, right? So what are those general restrictions? It's all the stuff we did at the beginning. So it's making sure to wear a mask if you can't keep 6 feet, to keep 6 feet whenever possible, to wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds with hot water regularly, to sanitize all surfaces, to eliminate common areas like coffee, and to minimize in-person meetings. So if you're a retail shop and you're selling jewelry and you can do these things, you are now good to go doing those things, and those things will be enforced. So do that. Same is true of construction and again, office work and non-essential. We're also asking all those businesses to let people work remotely if they so choose. So that is what is allowed now under those circumstances. Here are what are allowed, but only in very special, limited circumstances. So you can think of these things as still primarily closed with these exceptions. Gyms and recreation are allowed to be open, but only with a total of 10 people regardless of size. And those 10 people count employees. So if you're a gym and you've got 5 employees, you're allowed to have 5 people in your gym. And I will say for gyms, sanitation, extra important. The disease spreads with droplets. When you're lifting weights, you're breathing that out. It lands on a hard surface. It could live there for 3 days. So on you. Secondly, real estate. You are allowed to do individual showings. You are not allowed to do group showings or open houses. So that is allowed in that limited circumstance. Lodging. Lodging is closed with the exception of medical workers, emergency, and locals. So if you are in Glenwood, you can come up and stay in a hotel in Aspen, and vice versa. If you, say, have a family member who is at Aspen Hospital and you need to come in for that emergency, or if you are a medical worker, you can now stay at a lodge. Nobody else may. The same thing. STRs also not allowed. So those are the with special reasons only. What is not allowed at all right now: no special events, no playgrounds, no restaurants, no bars, no clubs, no music venues. Bars and restaurants can continue to do carry-out, but that is it for now. That rounds out the business updates here. Last remaining changes for our safer at home versus stay at home. Recreational travel is now allowed within the Roaring Fork Valley. So if you want to go camping in Glenwood, you can do so, assuming that you are following all the other social distancing, etc., hand washing requirements, which I don't know about you, but that feels amazing to me. I can't wait to do that. Secondly, and this is so important, if you have any symptoms, any runny nose, cough, nothing severe. Remember, most people, 80% of people, have mild presentation. If you have any symptoms, you get a hold of the doctor, you get a hold of your primary care, you get a hold of the hospital. There is a test available for you. Everyone who has symptoms will get tested, and there is a mandatory 7-day quarantine for any symptoms. If you reach the end of that 7 days, or if your symptoms persist there afterwards, it is 72 hours after the break of your temperature without it coming back that you are allowed to go back out. And this is so big, so please be really diligent about this one. And if you're an employer, be really understanding about this one. This is the biggest thing we can do to stop spread. Last thing I'll say is if you have any questions about any of this, Mitch Osher on city staff is going to be your point person. His email is Mitch, mitch.osher, O-S-U-R, at City of Aspen. I'm not going to spell that one, .com. Again, this starts on Saturday. It feels nice to start making baby steps, but they are just baby steps. We need to be extremely diligent about how we approach this. We need to not make the mistake of saying, oh, things are fine, ergo we can act normally. They are fine because we acted abnormally. And we can go right back to where we started from if we are not diligent. So do not make that mental mistake and bit of gymnastics. And secondly, let's lean into solution orientation. Let's put everything out there and let's come together with our inherent disagreements as a benefit, and start to workshop what we can do together. This is not the time to yell at one another. This is not the time to blame. This is not the time to point fingers. That will accomplish nothing. This is when we get in it together and we say, hey, we're Aspen. We want to be open for business. We want to be healthy. Let's figure out how to do it. Have a beautiful day, guys.